What is philophobia? What are the causes and the symptoms of this unpleasant phobia, and what can you do to overcome it? It's a specific phobia in which a person fears developing any kind of emotional attachment to other people. Before we dive deeper into fear of love matter, answer the following question first. Does the idea of falling in love terrify you to the point where you feel like you're about to have a panic attack just by thinking about giving your heart away to someone? Does the idea of committed romantic relationship make you feel trapped or stuck? Do you run away from any emotions toward the opposite sex and you can't imagine yourself sharing your life with another person? Do you feel uneasy and uncomfortable when surrounded by couples in parks or movie theaters? If some of these questions sound familiar to you, the chances are that you're really suffering from the unreasonable fear of love. But don't jump to the conclusion just yet, because there will be more signs that will tell you for sure. What causes philophobia? The causes of philophobia vary from person to person, and sometimes it's almost impossible to decipher why it might have occurred in the first place. People who have gone through their parents' divorce, any kind of domestic violence, or mistreatment at home as a child have huge predisposition to developing their phobia later in their adult lives. Causes of philophobia are directly linked with past or present experiences, which consequently form the mindset of an individual. So if you witness a relationship in which a couple is going through hard times and eventually breakups, chances are that you will develop a fear of falling in love. Also, if you happen to suffer from an anxiety disorder, you may also suffer from the fear of falling in love due to lowered level of self-esteem. Anxious and insecure person may think that they don't deserve love and that no one will ever love them, which creates a negative mindset and the basis for this phobia. Fear of rejection, heartbreak, breaking up, or divorce fills their mind with negative thoughts, and it also prevents from showing their emotions and entering new relationships, let alone trying the knot. Unfortunately, philophobia entraps them and starts ruling their lives, often without them even knowing it. Now let's discuss the two symptoms of philophobia. The one is psychological symptom and the other is physical symptoms. As far as psychological symptoms go, some people fear any kind of attachment and run for their lives from any sight of romance. Others are able to enter a relationship, but eventually they can become too possessive or jealous of their partners. So even if they decide to enter a relationship, their fear of keeping their partners and preventing a breakup or divorce at any cost will influence them to do things that will actually be the main culprits of dooming their relationship. In psychological symptoms, not every person will have of all these symptoms. It depends on their personality and the seriousness of this phobia. The most frequent ones are shortness of breath, rapid heart rate, panic attacks, extreme anxiety, irrational fear, chest pain, extreme fear, excessive sweating, numbness, and crying. Now, let's discuss the 7 most common signs of philophobia. Number 1. You can't let go of the past. One of the first symptoms of philophobia is related to past traumas. Philophobic people usually have a lot of emotional baggage from their past relationship, which represent a heavy burden for them and doesn't allow them to move on. Something like this can happen if you have been emotionally injured or broken in the past, but your scars haven't healed just yet. Someone you cared for deeply crushed your heart, which naturally left consequences on your mental health. Number 2. You aren't actually afraid of love, but of a possible heartbreak. After everything you have been through, it is perfectly reasonable that you are completely disappointed when it comes to the opposite sex. You think that everyone has the intention of hurting you and of crushing your vulnerable heart. And that's something that scares you the most, having to go through that emotional pain once again. You're positive that your wounded heart wouldn't survive any more damage, and you're ready to do whatever it takes to prevent that from happening. The fear of getting your heart broken paralyzes you to the point where you have subconsciously decided that the best way to protect it is to forget that you even have it. And all of this can also scare your loved ones as well. Number 3, you're unable to open up to others. What actually scares you the most about falling in love is the emotional attachment love carries with itself. Opening up to another person on a deeper level and forming a meaningful connection, an emotional bond is something you can't imagine yourself doing. However, this is not just the case with romantic relationship. You act similarly when it comes to most people in your life. Don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean that you are an introvert or antisocial. You may have a lot of friends and you don't mind hanging out with people. It's just that you're really comfortable with showing your true self to the world. Number 4, you have trust issues. If you're someone who's been betrayed or backstabbed in the past by the ones closest to you, it's no wonder that you have stopped believing in people. You no longer have faith that everyone is essentially good, and consequently you have become overly careful when it comes to romantic relationships. One of the signs that you have this phobia is exactly these trust issues you are dealing with. You simply think that everyone you meet will hurt you or take advantage of you in one way or another. With time, you have learned not to rely on anyone. You have learned that you are the only person you can count on, and that not trusting anyone is the only path towards avoiding disappointment and betrayal. Number 5, you value your single life too much. Another sign that you suffer from the fear of falling in love is the fact that you value your single status more than anything else. Even though this is a great thing because being single beats being in a toxic relationship anytime, you have embraced it to the point where you can't imagine sharing your life with someone else, and to the point where you have completely given up on love. Even though it's not always the easiest thing in the world, you have gotten used to living alone without anyone's help. The last thing you want is to have to compromise with someone or make sacrifices for the sake of your relationship. You have your own rhythm and habits you follow, and you aren't ready to change them and have to adapt to someone else. For you, the single life has become your comfort zone. It's something familiar to you, something you're used to, and a lifestyle you don't even think of abandoning anytime soon. Number 6, you feel caged when in a relationship. The idea of having to commit to just one person for the rest of your life scares the hell out of you because you simply can't imagine yourself being tied to just one person for as long as you breathe. And not just that, every romantic relationship makes you feel caged and trapped. Whenever you try being in a relationship or you just think about getting yourself involved in one, you have a panic attack. You see a romantic relationship as the end of someone's life, something that will completely deprive you of your individuality, something that will take away your freedom, and something that will change the essence of who you are. The point is actually pretty simple. You are someone who likes to have complete control over your life and emotions, and falling in love could possibly take that control from you. And just the idea of something like that happening suffocates you. Number 7, you only enjoy the physical part of a relationship. Having philophobia doesn't mean you don't enjoy having sex, and for most people, it has little to do with the physical parts of the relationship. The truth is that, like everyone else, you need someone to kiss, cuddle, and sleep with. It might sound strange, but you don't have any problem whatsoever with showing affection in the bedroom. What troubles you is how you are expected to behave after the physical part is over, because the last thing you want to do is take this intimacy to the next level. Your fear of love is just a side effect of a specific event to your mindset, and it can be cured successfully. All you need to do is to take some time to process all of it and stay relaxed, no matter how ridiculous that sounds. Remember that philophobia is just like any phobia out there, and you shouldn't blame yourself for going through it. Over time, you will discover the charm of falling in love naturally and without any fears. I can promise you that. I hope you like this video. Thank you for